to 5 months of living expenses. It protects you if you decide to quit your job, as well as a lot of other situations such as recessions, depressions, or even worldwide epidemics. Okay, so you've increased your income by learning a valuable skill, or maybe invested in your own business. You've kept your lifestyle in check, you've paid off all your loans, and you've created the Freedom Fund. Now, and only now, is the time to start looking at other options. Let's start off with the lowest risk option: index funds. An index fund is a collection of investments that you can put your money into and own a percentage of the entire thing. This gives you a fantastic diversification and protects you from poor stock choices. For example, let's say you got $1,000 and you invest it in, I don't know, let's say Apple stock, as they're a big company, right? They're going to be safe. As soon as your money goes in, the company takes a turn for the worse, causing the stock price to crash. The result could be that you lose the majority of your investment. This is where index funds come in. Instead of owning just Apple stock, you could take that $1,000 and invest it in something like the S&P 500, which gives you small shares in Apple as well as Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Visa, Disney, and many more. You're a shareholder of all these major companies. Now, if something happened to Apple, it would be balanced out by the other investments in your index funds. Now, lots of people will try and convince you to diversify my portfolio even more. The older you are, the more bonds I recommend you invest in. And I don't mean James Bond either, although he is pretty cool. The investment method I put the majority of my money into is real estate. I am much more of a real estate guy than a stock guy. I like real investments I can feel and touch, but I appreciate that it can be hard to buy properties with little money, but it's certainly something you should be saving for. My first property was a 1-bedroom apartment, and I loved it. It was mine. It cost me around $50,000, and when I moved out, I decided to rent it $500 a month. I had this property for around about 10 years, and when I sold it for $150K. And after this, I was obsessed with the money that we could make from real estate. Now, this is a good time to decide which type of investor you are. The first type is a capital gains investor. This is someone who likes to buy low and sell high and pocket the difference. These are investors that are interested in buying houses of auctions, or you may have seen the signs outside advertising that we buy your house for cash. They like to take advantage of the situations when people want fast sales. They may then move into the house, do it up and flip it for a profit. They have to keep repeating this process. This can work very, very well, but it is subject to fluctuations in the markets on a year-to-year basis. The second type is a cash flow investor. This is the kind of investor I like to think I am. I'll never buy a property if the rent won't cover the mortgage. I like to follow the 1% rule, meaning if I buy a property for $100,000, then at minimum, I want it to bring me in $1,000 a month. Otherwise, to be honest, I'm not buying it. Now, let's talk about one of the most risky options: individual stocks. I get asked about this type of investment daily, and I understand why. Individual stocks are a very attractive choice to lots of people. This is because with a small investment, you can buy into the market and sell whenever you want. You need to be focusing your time on finding ways to supplement or replace it. When I was in my early 20s, I realised my income as a carpenter, earning less than $3 an hour, was never going to give me enough money to invest. It hardly even paid my bills. I needed to find a way to dramatically increase this, and this is when I started my journey into the business world. Investing and business really work hand in hand. The saying is very true: the more you learn, the more you earn, and most importantly, the more you can invest. Be really aware of your lifestyle and make sure to keep it in check. Just because you're earning more doesn't mean you should be spending more. Think of someone like, say, I don't know, Ed Sheeran. He has a huge amount of money, yet he keeps his lifestyle in check. He still enjoys the little pleasures of life. If you were happy making, let's say, $40,000 a year, and you managed to increase your income up to $100,000 a year, that means you've got an extra $60K. This should be going straight into a high interest savings account and then into your investments. You know, you don't need to be spending it. Well, there is one slight exception, and that's stage number 2. Pay off all your high interest debts. If you have student loans, credit card bills, or even a payday loan, then these are pulling you down. They're destroying your credit score, which ruins your ability to take advantage of good loans. By paying off these high interest debts first, you'll actually save more money than you could ever hope to make elsewhere. The next stage is to create a freedom fund. This is my name for an emergency fund that puts the power back in your hands. This freedom fund consists of three